Surprise, surprise. There's always a surprise. Welcome, everybody, to Mark Bajewski Crystal's channel. Today, we're going to talk about the Borg and how close that is to actual truth. Whoever channeled that, whoever created that. Yeah, sorry, I've just put some aloe vera on my face. But yeah, take a look at this. This has just happened. Won't let me back in. I haven't got a password, so I have no idea what that means. Won't let me back in. So I'm being hacked everywhere. Yeah, weird stuff happening at the moment. I think so many people are being hacked too. Welcome. I'm going to go down to my my service provider and see if they can help. If not, it says on here, if you don't know your password, you have to delete everything. Oh, I wonder why that is. Why would you have to delete everything? Delete everything to get back into your phone. I mean, what is that about? So there you go. I'll figure that out later. Welcome, everybody. I shall not let it upset me. I shall not let it worry me. It is just a freaking phone. It's fine. There is a lot of content on there, though. But I think I've been hacked. That looks like I've been hacked somehow. But yeah, what a lovely day today. Today, what are we on? 27th of July. Absolutely beautiful day. You know, all you can do these days, really.
You have no power over me.
Well, I don't know how loud or not loud that is. If you can all hear me correctly, if it's too loud, not too loud, put the music back on a little bit. I'm actually thinking about employing somebody part-time or possibly full-time to be a tech person. They have to be working with my company. So I think I actually need now. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Maybe employing a techie person who can deal with all of this stuff so I don't need to, and I can just get on with my natural work, which is helping people throughout their life in any way possible with what we can attune to, what we can see, what we can feel. And whether people take that on board or not is not up to me. It's just information that I feel is relative to here and now and the future. I don't think it's a surprise to anybody that when we realize that there was some agenda taking place, which was first of all to get some kind of frequency energy into a foreign entity into your hand. I think a lot of us laughed about that because we were used to phones that we would basically go to, you know, in the hallway. We'd pick a phone up to ring somebody up, and it was a simple, you know. But even then, a lot of people rang somebody up and stayed on the phone for hours and hours and hours. They were addicted to that frequency and energy. Roll on 20 years, and a phone came out called the mobile phone. Little did we ever know that that would be attached to us in one way or another. The frequency is, of course, very, very bad. We know this now because the amount of tumors in the side of the thigh, the tumors up here, and the explanation for that is quite simple: frequency radiation. So it's, you know, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that these ear pods that you put in your ears are probably the most dangerous thing to humanity in the next 20 years. But then it's too late. You know, what we're starting to now see, I predicted this ages ago, and I'm sure a few of you also did as well. When you've got them constantly in your ear with a frequency going into your ear, it's too close. It's like a microwave, so it's going to cause harm. And seeing the ratio of tinnitus going up now, like incredible. Seeing the ratio of severe headaches, migraines, and all sorts of really bad stuff in the eyes and in their breathing through their nose up here is all, in my humble opinion, allegedly, it's all for entertainment purposes only. I believe is I shouldn't say that. I'm assuming. It's difficult to talk on here now, but anyway, I wasn't going to talk about that. You know what I feel about that. I should have done it. I don't know if it would have made of any impact, but my first thought when they came out was to buy a pair, put them on some kind of wood, get a hammer and smash them live and say that's the best thing you could do with these. I wish I'd have done it really, but I didn't. I see even my own daughter wears these things. What can I say? I tell her, but what can I say? You know, Dad, you're old. You don't know what you know, like, come on, everybody's got them. All right. You know, it's so difficult. Even giving proof to people, even showing people long-term damage. And it's actually like a crack in the skull, crack in the head. What it means is that your body is incredible at protecting you, but there's only so much you can do until the point that there's a crack. Soon as that crack comes, forget it. You ain't fixing that crack again. And that's with drugs, that's with alcohol, and that's with frequency like this. So, you know, if you realize that we're at the very beginning of this, then can you imagine when they're going to implant people with the very same technology? You will be downloading frequencies from Bluetooth, from Wi-Fi, from everything that's constantly downloaded through the satellites above, through all the towers all around. And it will be just frying brains. Frying, but it's okay. It's all right. No problem. I mean, nothing will happen. Nothing ever happens. I mean, look what just happened a few days ago with Elon Musk's car. Somebody couldn't get out of the car and they burnt to death. But it's okay. That's all right. It's okay because it's Elon Musk. So he's untouchable. If that was you or me who built a car like that and we started selling them on the open market, guess what would happen to us? Of course, we'd be thrown in prison. We'd be in prison for 20 years for murder. Why is that? Because you've created something that is an absolute disaster. It's obvious it's a disaster. The cars are running off the road and killing people. And there's over 800 people have been killed in Teslas because of the malfunction, because of the dangers of the vehicle, not malfunction, the dangers that haven't been tested or checked. They've just been pumped out there to humanity and shut that person up. Yeah, they've died, shut that person up. Well, you know what? They're going to die. Why is that? Because we build so many, it's going to happen. Yeah, but that's not through their own fault. That's the fault of whoever built these and created these. It's their fault. Forget it, guys. It doesn't matter because, like you all know, Elon Musk doesn't own anything. It's the darkness. It is the dark system that owns all of this and that allows it to go through. So, you know, there's have you ever noticed there's always a benefit to evil through AI technology? Always a benefit. The side benefit is the culling of people, the ritual culling of people. And guess what? When everybody's got an electric car, you ain't going anywhere because they'll just switch it off. And just think to yourself, if they can take a little tiny bleeper in a pocket and change the frequency so that they blow up, guess what they could do to a car at any given moment if they don't like you, if they don't like what you're saying? Guess what they can do to your phone if they don't like what you're saying? Guess what they can do to your account when all you've got is digital money? If they don't like you, they just close your account down. What are you going to do? Nothing. What am I going to do? Nothing. Can't do anything. And yet we still continue to stick these things in our ears. We continue to, line up for the next Elon Musk great creation. All of these AI lunatics, I call them lunatics now. They are absolutely lunatics. I just think anybody in AI now, that there's something very wrong with all of them. I've come to this understanding that your thinks and all of them, not so much, I believe, like the Jobs back in the day, but all those that now are controlling AI, I believe are all, there's something extremely wrong. And when you see, when you see a problem, when you see an issue with whether it's you've got a company and you're creating something and you see a problem, you don't turn away and ignore it. What I see is AI. I see the technology just ignoring anything that they decide to ignore because it's too much of an issue. It's not important. We're striving for whatever we're striving for. We want to be the next big tech. We want to be in America. We want to be in Silicon Valley. We want to be the biggest. We want to be the best. There is no stopping. There is no looking at things. There's actually nothing to stop these people. And you wonder why there's nothing to stop them. There is no regulation. There's no body that oversees them in any way. So they're free to do whatever shit they want. And they are doing some dangerous stuff right now. Not just Elon Musk, but so many other companies. When you start to do the research on this, it's frightening. It's frightening what they're trying to create. They want to create babies without wombs. They want to create new cyborgs. They want to clear humanity out of the way. And they want a new kind of, well, it's not a human. Humanity is gone. The connection between the consciousness and the spacesuit that we wear is finished. They are doing everything they can to hijack that. So eventually we won't be human anymore. The spirit will not be connected to the human body. It will be an artificial intelligence. So your soul, your spirit will not even play a part. So now, even now, the amount of people who are connected to their consciousness is minuscule, because over these decades, they've realized that they need to get rid of that sixth sense, that consciousness, that intuition, that psyche ability that can see bullshit, smell it a mile off. And through the programming, through the poisoning, through everything that they've done, they've created a new breed. I can tell you this as a fact. There's not a day that goes by that I don't shake my head when I see humanity and their reaction. I see humanity's reaction now is not human anymore. It's not a conscious reaction anymore. I see nothing but a robot more and more. So, your conversation with people, it's become automaton. You're talking to a robot these days. No understanding, no connection. When you speak about certain things, they have no clue to what you're saying. They look at you with a blank stare, and It's eating, drinking, sleeping, and working. Eating, drinking, sleeping, and AI technology. That's all it is. They're reliant on AI now. So, like, I don't give a shit about this. But I guess if this happened to somebody, most people, they would be screaming and shouting and going freaking out and going insane. I couldn't give a tot. In fact, it's a break. It's a great break. But my point is, people are going insane. They're literally, that their AI programming now, priority is the Borg, is being connected to AI, is connected to AI. Tell me how many people don't sit in front of a black screen all day for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours a day. If I was to guess, I would say 90% of humanity now sits in front of a black screen more than 5 hours a day. Frightening thought, but I believe it's true. And nobody is questioning it. Nobody's questioning themselves. Nobody's standing back and shaking themselves off and saying, you know what, something's not right. They're actually embracing it. They're walking into the gas chambers. And that's where I think we are right now. So my talk today about humanity turning into non-human beings is exactly what I feel is happening. I see reactions that are non-human anymore, more like robots. I see nothing but judgment. I see nothing but reaction in a negative way. I see a distance in their eyes that I've never seen before. I see people lost in a dark abyss. I see reaction. I see people's behavior is changing in such a way that frightens me very much. And soon as we get to the point where the consciousness is completely severed, which is exactly the agenda, then it's game over. There is no more spirit. Spirit is finished. It's gone. Spirit plays no part in this world anymore. All you will have is a robot, a Borg connected to the grid. And that's all what we will be. So my whole belief to all of this is the biggest picture of all, the bigger picture is that if you can manipulate the whole of humanity by changing them from a human to a subhuman, you will automatically be creating a body, a spacesuit, which will be of negative frequency. So that frequency will be, so to speak, feeding the very entity that is creating this, that is driving this, that is pushing this. So whatever that entity is, whether it be off planet, whether it be a dark demonic energy, what it does is manipulate the weak by offering rewards, by giving them glory, fame, fortune. So by greed, they encourage these humans to continually push this agenda, this dystopian nightmare. And I think from a perspective of darkness, if it can control the masses to do exactly what it wants, then there is no more wrong and right. There is only the program. So eventually, what we are seeing now is people can say something which is completely wrong, and people will sit there and agree with it. We're seeing it every day. So what's happening is humanity is changing moment by moment. Humanity is no longer the same humanity because of the disconnect. You know, 5 years ago, I made a prediction, and that would be that the world would change, the view would change, the energy would change. Why? Because if you can disconnect a human body from the spirit, you will simply get an automaton. And an automaton does exactly what it's programmed to do. So the program now is written and the automaton follows. Why? Because there is no consciousness to stop you from going down the wrong path. There is no consciousness that says, just hang on a minute, let's just think about this first. Something doesn't feel right. It's gone. It's gone. There's only 1% who are still in consciousness, who are still in spirit, who have a soul that is connected to the body. So those are the ones that just speak to their consciousness. I speak to my consciousness. I speak to my spirit and soul all day long. I have a conversation with my consciousness through the brain listening and my consciousness leading the way. So my consciousness leads, is the driving force. Now humanity is being driven by a program in the brain, nothing else. Nothing is second guessing. Nothing is saying this doesn't feel right. So we are at a point now where it looks like it's going to get worse by the day. So the reactions of people that would have stopped before they would have jumped into saying or doing something is now becoming very robotic like. It is not of spirit in nature. It is not in kindness or love in nature. It is merely an automaton. It's a robot. It is just a brain which has been programmed, and they are taking that program and utilizing it with no other concept, no other thought or feeling. So like I said, you know, if you see something bad happening, your first thought is just be careful, right? Just be careful. Your second thought is help that person, help that child, help that dog, right? So you become sometimes overwhelmed because your consciousness wants to do the right thing. I think a lot of people make a mistake by saying I followed my heart. And I believe it's the other way around. I think they were following their brain and not their heart. So there are times that you might say, you know, that was a silly mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But on the point where you move to the spirit world, you see a whole film of everything that you've done. And I believe when your consciousness speaks, so you are driven by your consciousness, all of those images will give you the greatest of joy. So what is right to your spirit is about loving, protecting, helping. It's not about hurting, causing harm. It's about defending. It's about speaking the truth. It's not about upsetting people. It's about helping people recognize things without hurting, without ego, without force. Your consciousness knows how to handle these things, but the brain doesn't. The brain simply is used at certain times. And for me, when I cross the road and look left and right, I say thank you to my brain, it's doing its job. When I read a book, thank you brain, it's doing its job. As I read that book, there's another voice that comes in as I'm reading it because I've read something so beautiful in that book. And then my consciousness starts to come up with a story or something that then will create, because it's led me to that book to know that whatever I read is going to activate my understanding, and my consciousness then takes over. So it's like when I read the cards, I start looking at them, and as soon as I'm activated by something which is within them cards, I'm like, wow, and then the story comes out. It's not about the brain. It doesn't work like that. So, you know, me as a human being, in fact, I had a very strange thing happen this morning. And actually, this is really something that I find fascinating as well. And I divert, but honestly, this is important. I found over the time that my first mentor spent her time in fear and ego. And I saw this and I tried to help her every day, and I was struggling to understand. I used to sit under my tree or do my work and meet her, and she was always in fear or always in ego. And this morning I felt the same way. I was speaking to this lady who's, a famous medium. And she put something out there, and I just noticed it. And I said, I mentioned something about, she said she'd done some work for Paul McKenna. And I typed it. I said, Paul McKenna wasn't it the guy, that guy, didn't he do a TV documentary and kind of mocked and ridiculed a medium? And she said, no, dear, that was Darren Brown. I went, oh shit, yeah, that was ages ago. Yeah, it was Darren Brown. And then I said, but when I watched Paul McKenna, I used to still think that, as a psychic, when you do psychic work, you can attune to human beings everywhere, and you think, oh, that person's psychic. Why? Because they're attuning in the same way. They're not going to the brain, they're going to the consciousness. So you can feel that, you're actually, without knowing, you're picking up on your intuition and you're using it. I used to think that about Paul McKenna. It used to get me angry sometimes, but I'm thinking, yeah, you're saying, because I always thought he was negative towards psychics and stuff like that. So I was very surprised when she said that she'd helped him or an animal or something like that. And she said, she said to me, she said, no, I was talking about, she said, he's psychic. And I went, oh yeah, I always thought Paul McKenna was psychic. She says, no, dear, I meant Darren Brown. And then underneath, she said, I think maybe you should delete this post because you're getting everything wrong, and you don't want people to think that you're getting everything wrong. And what else are you can get wrong? What a stupid thing to say. That's exactly what my first mentor would have said. First of all, when you're a psychic and you do the psychic work, you're a completely different person when you're on the streets and talking to people and stuff. When you are in the mode, you become a different person. So obviously the woman has no clue to what she's talking about. Secondly, people get things wrong all the time. Why the hell would you be in fear if you've got something wrong? People make mistakes, they forget, they have bad memories. This has got nothing to do with psychic work. What a stupid thing to say. So I just answered, I couldn't give a toss what people think about me. Absolutely couldn't give a damn what people think about me. I am who I am, and I make mistakes every day. To which she unfriended me. All right, the world is going crazy. The world is going mad. It's fine. It's all right. All I see these days is fear and ego. So yeah, things are weird. Every day things are getting weirder and weirder. I'm feeling the energy around me becoming weirder. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but there's sudden, it almost feels like we're being attacked on a frequency level, which is like laser thin shooting of, I don't know, the thinnest laser beam that shoots on us, and it feels like it's just burnt us. And I'm confused thinking, have I just been bitten by a mosquito? Have I been burnt? Am I itching? Have I got a scratch? And I just sat and just contemplated it and thought about it and took my time and realized, no, there's something happening in this universe now. There's something happening in this frequency. And it's like little tiny thousands of little frequencies hitting people. And it's like, it feels like a pin and needle being stuck in you. And I've started noticing this for the past couple of months. And I'm seeing different frequencies that are affecting people every day. that affect me, that affect you, and we are being manipulated. These are called slow kills, right? I call them slow kills. Lots of people do. Why? Because you can't see them straight away. You can't feel them straight away. But in time, they're going to affect the body. So it's like din, 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 bang, 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 till eventually crack. The coconut cracks open. And this is how I feel about our bodies. And I feel that we are being hijacked. We're being attacked on a daily basis. The one thing that I have noticed is that people get very, very upset with me talking now. And I'm getting less and less people listening because they're sick of listening. They don't want to hear this. They just want to live a normal life. They want to live an earthly life. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to talk love and light. And I get that. And that's probably why nobody listens hardly anymore. And I get it. Answers, I don't have all the answers. You know, I work on every day. I try different things to be able to say to you, look, like at the moment, I'm on a prune diet. Like, so I've been taking prunes now for, I don't know, 3 months. And now a lot of people are talking about prunes, saying that they take heavy metals from the body. I've been doing this for like 3 months. And I'm seeing what's working. I've been working on a new oil that I've just brought out. I rub that on my chest, on my stomach, on my back. I rub it on my here, temples, back of the neck. I rub it here on my nose. And I'm trying to cleanse and clear out of my body. I'm taking other things at the same time, natural herbs to try and heal my body. Now, every couple of weeks, I'll do my tea protocol, which I used to tell everybody about. Not so much now because one person got really quite ill with it. But 5, 6, 7, 800 people in a month that took it were fine. But I don't. Even if I upset one person and one person's stomach isn't good after taking my tea, or so they thought it was my tea, that really upsets me and it worries me. And I want to do everything I can to help that person. And it took a while for them to get better, but now they're starting to get better. So I'm no doctor. All I can do is share with you what my experience is. I don't know what works and what doesn't. And that's why I continually work as a healer, as a pupil, to find out what is the best way to heal my body from the toxins that are poisoning us every day, from outside frequencies that are causing our body these really strange things. You cannot tell me that body clocks are no longer functioning. Body clocks don't function. Do you know how many body clocks we have? Tons. None of them are in balance. So sleep patterns are bad. Food intake is bad. We don't even know when we're full and when we're not. It's like everything is just messed up. So every day I'm in Mother Nature. Every day I put my feet on the soil. Every day I'm down by the sea, just about, with Lily, my doggy. Every day I cleanse myself with sage, Neela. Every day I use oils to cleanse and clear my body. I use sprays, my aura sprays, to cleanse and clear myself. I wear crystals to try and help my physical body become stronger than the poison. So it's a constant battle that we are in a battle. We're in a battle, and they are after our health and well-being. They're after our consciousness. They're after severing us so we become automaton. So we are the Borg. You will be assimilated. So that's kind of like where I am at the moment with this, and that's why I think that humans from 20 years ago, our reactions are different from our reactions now. I see my children's children all around me. You know, the younger generation, they're not the same anymore. They're a different species. I see 18 to 20, 25-year-olds walking around. All they're doing is this. What have they created? What have they done? Because I don't blame the kids. I don't blame teenagers. I don't blame 20-year-olds. They are simply being programmed. And when I was a kid, I had to fight that program. Most of the kids in my class were pretty sharp, and I think most of them had a consciousness, and most of them was savvy, and that's why we were always in trouble. And I was in the class which all the classes in my year, there was one dunce class that they couldn't control, and teachers would laugh about our class because we were a nightmare, because we were uncontrollable. So it's something to think about. We weren't just obedient kids, because we knew something was wrong. This wasn't right. This wasn't the plan. This wasn't how we were meant to be here. Our consciousness was telling us, our spirit was saying that what you're reading is bullshit. What you're talking about is bullshit. It's all meaningless. I mean, there were some things that I understood. I understood that you need to learn to read and write and to add up and things like that to get on with the world. But the stuff that I found just made no sense. Pie charts, history didn't make sense to me. Religious RE was the worst for me. I just could not be conformed to religion, even though they tried so hard. They made me become an altar boy. They were pushing me to do, and I just used to laugh at all this stuff. I used to mock and laugh. Every time that the priest would drink blood of Christ, I'd laugh and just say, what? This is weird. I'm now going to eat the body of Christ. It's like, what? Why would you say that? Now you've got to go into a box and tell everybody all your sins. I mean, what kind of pervert would be in a box wanting to listen to your sins? And what sins did we have? What can a little boy actually walk into a box and say what my sins were? What are you talking about? This is programming. This is the worst kind of demonic programming. So we come into a world and we wonder why so many of us are depressed and lost and struggle in life, because we were, as children, programmed. Luckily, I used to leave school all the time, and I found my freedom in a park or at my brother's girlfriend's flat. They would allow me to stay there. And I used to get bullied all the time at school anyway. I was always bullied. Somebody wanted to beat me up, you know. Somebody always wanted to pick on me. It's like I was sick of it. And it's not like I was a little soft kid. It's just I was targeted all the time. And then you realize that some kids are pure evil. They are monsters. They come from a different place. And that's why you're attacked. So a lot of the times we're attacked because of evil. So going back to this interesting topic, my thoughts now is that we turned that corner. We've gone past the point of no return, and coming to terms with that is very difficult. It's extremely difficult. And the reason why is because no matter where you come from in this cosmos and in these spacesuits, whether you're an NPC, sheep, doesn't matter. I still feel pain for people that are following and doing things that I can see are leading them down a very dark dystopian nightmare, Hunger Games society. And I see them doing it with open arms. I see them begging for it. And all the distractions that are happening right now with the Epstein files, with, you know, somebody at a Coldplay stadium, all of these things, to anybody who has a consciousness, can say that none of these things are real, in the sense that they're all put there deliberately to cause people from turning away from what really is going on. Now, you could have Do I like people who have affairs with others? I don't really care. I wouldn't do it because I just know what's wrong and right. I wouldn't insult somebody that I was with, because then I'd insult them if I was with somebody else. I'm like taking the piss out of myself as well. It's like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, if you're going to do it, then just own up and say, look, I'm not happy in this relationship. I see somebody else that I like. I'm sorry, this is the way it is. I'd have more respect for somebody like that than somebody being dirty and slimy and lying and cheating. I don't like that. Sorry, guys, just I don't like. But does it really reward the whole of the internet screaming and shouting over two people who are having an affair? Well, no, they're programmed to. That's the whole point. The algorithms are making people watch and see that. Why? Because they want everybody on board, because that is the big deal. When in actual fact, there are kids being stolen daily and used in rituals daily, enslaved, the most horrendous things happening to them. We are distracted by the real truth, where all the laws are being passed now to allow all this AI to come forward and for your anonymity, your protection, all disappearing. But it's okay. We're watching Coldplay spying on somebody who's two people who's having an affair. All of these things are all by design. The Epstein files, JFK files that people are screaming and shouting that they want. Yes, that's got a lot to do with what's going on. Absolutely. But we won't ever see the Epstein files because evil is in control. Evil controls this world. Evil runs this world. So you will never have the truth, because the truth is protected by the system, by the law. That's why they will always string you along, and then they will then start to talk about something else so that you forget about it, because they know that most of humanity are fillers in and they forget quickly, or they've been programmed to forgive and forget. Just let go, let it go. It's been ages. What are you even talking about that now? We're talking about other things now, which are more important. So yes, Epstein files, don't get me wrong, are very important, but nobody will ever find out anything about what's on that list unless they're going to hang somebody out to dry. So, you know, that's the way I see it. Humanity is easily swayed. Humanity is easily distracted. The sleight of hand of the system is incredibly powerful. We are now living in a dystopia. We are now living in an absolute MK Ultra psyop happening as we speak right now. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing is stopping that. Nobody is stopping it. Not even you. No matter what you say, we're not making a ding in this. And I think when we realize that, when we try and come to terms with that, even with all what's happening around us, that's breaking our hearts, because we start thinking, well, the only alternative is to just focus on myself and the people who are listening, who care, and forget about everybody else. That's a difficult one, because you want to tell everybody, and then you focus on your own well-being and you hope that your light shines bright so that the world sees it and you become a beautiful lighthouse for the world and more people see it. But I've been talking like this for 20 years, and all I see is slowly but surely we are all walking into this dystopian nightmare. And I see nothing more than we are all going to be turning into automatons, and eventually everybody will be plugged into the grid. They will all be plugged into AI, which is, for me, it's worse than alcohol. It's worse than any drug that you can take. It is probably worse. It will be probably worse than being involved in satanic rituals, because you will be fed a dark, evil energy, which will then overcome you, and then you will be completely you will be the host of attachment, you'll be the host of demonic. At any given moment, it can pass through you and work through you. And that is something that I just pray with all my heart. My son is extremely smart about these things and knows. But how many are there who understand what's going on? And I don't see the world coming together. They'll come together for whatever AI wants them to. So AI will distract them and say, go and listen to the Coldplay, or they will put the Coldplay nonsense all over the internet. That's all by design, and people just jump on board with it. Yes, some people laugh and joke about it, but it's more sinister than that. If we actually, okay, let's laugh. And, I did a joke of it as well, just because I'm tired. I'm tired of, trying to share with people that everything that's happening as we speak right now is being pushed so cleverly. It's, Grok, ChatGPT, it's all the darkest of weakest of people, humans that are creating this. You don't want to be, it's like if somebody said to me, do you want to stay at that hotel? Who owns the hotel? Jack Nicholls in The Shining. It's that hotel. I think I'll take a break. I don't think I'll bother. Why? It's a hotel. Yeah, but Jack Nicholls is in there, Kubrick created it, it's all a bit dark, right? We're not doing that. We're censoring ourselves by not allowing our intuition to say, well, what's actually happening here? Nobody's asking questions unless it's the Coldplay and they want to know what's happened to them. They're demanding that whoever this guy is should give his job up. And what's happening to the woman? She's still in a job. I'm seeing all of these ridiculous, petty, childish, bitching, judgment of stuff that isn't relevant. It's not relevant to anything. So we are being sidetracked. We're being pushed in other directions. We're being sleight of hand so that we never actually stop what's really the darkest agenda that should be stopped. There are a few people in this world who work hard, who have a consciousness about spirit, and they see through it and they're working to stop that. But as I see it, not many these days. So all I can say is if you watch this and you've got children, then maybe think a little bit more about the use of the AI technology and how long for. Limit it. Tell them about life. Teach them about, nature. Go for a walk with them. Get rid of the phone. Try to get them back into used to being their own power and not this being the power. Because at the moment, children, this is their power. This is the ring. This is Gollum's ring. This is my precious. It's my precious. It's my precious. So I'm wishing you all a lovely day.
You have no power over me.
Have a lovely day, guys. Take care. Take care. Oh, yeah, by the way, somebody was asking me about these new beautiful crystals that are coming out soon, the prototypes. I can't show you anything because I can't get on my phone. But I've got some beautiful prototypes just being made right now. Absolutely gorgeous. I've also got 110 of the most beautiful Maliclum Moldavites in roll gold. These are not nuggets; they're more flat, and they're more. They're just gorgeous. The nuggets were great. More of the guys bought the nuggets, but these are more flat. So I've got, I think, about 50 roll gold and about about 60 which are sterling silver. They should be coming in a few weeks. They're just working with them now in Bali. So August the 10th, I think they should be ready around August the 10th, because they've been there quite a while now, but it takes a while to make them. And then it takes about a week to get them sent. So maybe, mid-August to late August, we've got a beautiful collection coming. Probably in about 4 weeks, maybe, we should have the prototypes. So it's all looking good. Everything's looking good. Crystals that I'm working on at the moment, I'm working today on Mookaite. I don't know if you've ever heard of Mookaite. It's absolutely gorgeous energy. As of late, I've been wearing this, which is a beautiful piece of nummite. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very, very powerful crystal. If you haven't got any, you should try it. It's fabulous. Yesterday I started working on the healing oil, and I'll be working on that later on as well today. So all good, really. Everything's going really well. MarkBajewski.com is flourishing. I'm thinking about doing some changes on the website, maybe start my own channel on there, Mark Bajewski TV. So it's just on there. So I'm not doing YouTube. I was very thankful for people that came to Rumble. Very thankful. We had over, I think, 600, 700, 800 people on the couple of last video, and now it's kind of gone down again to 400, which I'm kind of shocked, really. I didn't think that we'd get that many people coming over. So that was very kind. Mark Bajewski is all one word. So if you go to Rumble, it's Mark Bajewski, all one word, and then you'll find the channel. There's tons of information on there that might be able to help you along this journey. So don't complain about info. There's plenty of it. There's plenty of it. So I got banned last week from my YouTube channel. So thanks for coming over to the Crystal channel and listening. I think I've got 1 more week to go, and then I have to be very careful what I say. Here, I'm okay. I haven't got a strike on here, only a warning. So, well, we'll see after this video, see what they say. But it's hard not to speak the truth. So, yeah, join me over at Rumble whenever you can. I'm going to try and upload a video every day there. And maybe I'm going to try and find a techie person to work full-time with me to help me, so that whenever I do videos, it will connect to YouTube. It will connect to every app that I have. And stuff like that, so we can make it easier. And also my website, I'd like to have a channel there, a TV channel. So then, you know, I'm not going to be monitored and having slaps across the face for saying things that they don't like. That's it then, really. All good. I wish you a lovely day from the bottom of my heart. Have a great day. And like 2 weeks ago from now, I think I've uploaded about 600, maybe 700 crystals on markbajewski.com, new ones. So yeah, you might want to check them out. Some beautiful, beautiful crystals are on there now. So yeah, that's it really. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Thanks for joining me.